We welcome to our Christmas. We are happy. We welcome to our Christmas. We are happy. Okay. We welcome to our Christmas. We are happy.
This is Sam Jigomba school, which has been constructed for this community. By name, I'm called Pario Roy, a parent of this school. Before this, our children were learning in an old site there, which was just a small area. If you take the rooms were like 3 meters by 4 meters, which were not enough for the learners to exercise themselves, to learn freely, which actually caused for us a lot of problem. Now, when Iread came in, we really thank God very much for the donors who have come up with this idea of partnering with this community to bring us such a beautiful structure, which has now made our children to learn well. And then when now they came in, we just thank God very much for such a wonderful project. And when now you look such a structure, nowadays if you take the enrollment, here, whenever I bring my children here, the number has really increased because the room is just spacious, it is enough. When you come out, the compound is now a little bit okay. In our previous site, it was stony, the site was not okay. Children used to get a lot of accidents there, bloodshed and so on. So for that reason, parents feared to bring their children to that site. Instead, they took that initiative of taking their children up to town, so which actually costed a lot of transport. Actually, some of my children were there in town, but when this structure came in place, I decided to transfer them all here because it saved me now that money for transport, and then that money for those risks on the road. Now they just cross here, they come to this ECD center. Now, what were the challenges we had there before? One, lack of enough rooms for our children. So for that region, the number of children who were admitted in that classes were a little bit limited. So it was not open. Once they had hit the number, that marks the end. Your child will not be admitted there. But now when we came here, when Iread brought for us this structure, at least now the enrollment has increased, which has actually solved the problem of a classroom. Such a structure, we parents, we could not raise up fund to raise such a structure. We know it takes a lot of million shillings to come up with such a nice house. It was too much for us as parents of this community. You know, As being parents in this community, sources of money was very hard. So we could not afford such a house for our children to learn in. If you take these playing equipments for the learners, these actual modernized learning and play materials, which we could not afford. So our children, those years, could just come there and they were just idle. So at least this time they have free activities, they can play. When you come here at any time to check them, you get them for their free activity. They're playing, they're doing what, they're running around. So it makes actually them to grow uprightly. Then too, we had a shortage of caregivers. But when this facility was built, of course the number of learners increased. Of course it really prompted us to increase the number of caregivers. This time we have caregivers who are now helping these children maximum. Then we used to have transport problem. You know, taking a child very early in the morning to town. Sometimes these border boys could not come, and this child remains at home, missing his or her lesson. But nowadays, you can just walk with your child to the center, and the child gets the education very well. Then there was this risk of accidents on the road. Many times, these border men have involved our children in accidents when they are transporting them to school and back. But this time we have all avoided that because of this structure, this partnership of Iread with the parents. So the Iread team have really done very, very wonders to come to our aid for such a nice structure. Then what are the future anticipations? If you look at this structure now, with the current situation, our children are doing very well. You don't get cases of repetition. These children who have graduated from this center, if you see their results in the primary section, it is just wonders. You know that these are upright, upcoming Ugandans who are going to stand on their own. Because if you look at the marks they get in P1, you just know that they have been learning a real thing. They have just been helped, because in a whole class, if the lowest person gets around 70, that's a very great achievement, meaning that the foundation has been very, very okay, very, very strong. You know, when you are building a house, when the foundation is not okay, when it reaches maybe roofing stage, you will find that the walls are already cracking, the walls are already collapsing. But I'm just quite sure in future we are going to produce very, very important and very, very useful Ugandans from this center. Eating popo, eating popo, eating popo, that's not. Stomach penny, stomach penny, stomach penny, that's not. Stomach penny, stomach penny, stomach penny, that's not. Calling doctor, calling doctor, calling doctor, just now. Calling doctor, calling doctor.
Gomba. Here in Iread Gomba, our teaching is very professional. Our teaching is child-centered. So when our children come to school like this, we gather them, we give them knowledges. Yeah, they are so proud. When they go home like this, parents are very happy of them. They also keep on appreciating us. So when they come here, when we teach them, as I said, our learning is child-centered. We have materials in the classroom. If you see the classroom, you will really know that it is learning center. Even if the teacher is not there, the children can continue to learn. This center you see here, it has bring more children to the. It has increased in the enrollment. When this center was not there, we have few learners who are just here. So we also earn a small amount. So when they build for us this center, so parents were just encouraged. They know that there is good learning now here. So they bring their children here. So the number of enrollment keep on increasing. Now we are here. We are now enjoying learning.
Gomba in 2016, there was nothing like that, but that very year when Gomba arrived into our community, we appreciated it joyfully, knowing that we are going to receive a change whereby those days there were no good schools around our community. We used to take our children to urban areas where you have to pay heavy dues, and also learners, they are much great numbers in enrollments, and each children cannot access his or her right. And when Gomba exists in place, we are able to overcome the challenges which used to exist in urban areas where we used to take our children, especially a good learning area. This first of its kind, Gomba Early Childhood, is a very good center which has come to really open eyes of our children in this community.
Sit down, listen to us. Iread children are singing for you. Hello, our teachers. You are welcome. We are happy to see you today. Sit down, listen to us. Iread children are singing for you. Hello, our
as a caregiver. And in the first place also I want to thank all these Iriads for what they have done for us, because we are so happy for those things which they have bring for us here at first we are not having structure like this one. Now with this one here, now we are having plenty of rooms which we can accommodate our children. At first we are not having such places, and also rooms were not enough because they are coming to put for us this structure. We are now able to accommodate our children all in a good place, and also we are having here them to keep in safe place. We are using also local materials to also to teach them, and also we are keeping our local materials in all good place because of their coming to put for us this structure. And also we are having another experience here which they have brought for us here is, in the first place we are not having teachers like this one who can chat with the children, but now because of their coming we are now able to have good experience with our children and also interact with them. And also we are having another one is, we are also thanking all these Ireads, because at first our children, they were there at home, they cannot get breakfast. Now because of this structure we are able to accommodate them here and also giving for them breakfast like porridge and also sometimes teas they can take here. When they reach home also they take their lunch with their parents. That is a good thing these people they brought for us here. Also they also perform good. At first they were not performing all that because some were not going to school because the place was very far for them to go to school. Because of this structure they are now able to come in a good number here at the school. Also we teach them, they also perform very well, and also because of that we are able to raise another small structure here. When we teach them in the nursery section, we immediately take them to primary side, that is a lower class. We take them here and also they perform very well. With that one we hope there will be a good field. And also another problem here before, when these people were not here, is we are not having good experience here before because our teachers were not enough. Due to that, when they see this structure they are now able to apply here. Some will also come with that one, more will come here, and also some committees will also sit together with the staffs, will look forward to overcome those things to bring more teachers to teach our children, because our children's, their number is increasing yearly. Since we are here, we are having here 4 teachers. With that one, seems committees will also see forward to bring more teachers.
We are partners with the Ministry of Education. We are partners with the Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak. We are partners with the 2 Rotary Clubs of ARUA, and we are partners with AMFRI, who you have already had interaction with. But the partnership has to be with the parents and the teachers and the community of this village. And that is the partnership and the objective of this meeting today, to say how are we going to work together.
My name is Adania Natalia. I'm a caregiver in a one Royal Nursery School. I taught here for 3 years now. Of being with the children here in Iwane. My experience of being here for 3 years, I thank Iread for bringing us this program of teaching here, because my experience here goes well with this program of material development they brought for us. If you go to our class here, you'll see very many material here. As we are using these materials, teaching with children is now easy for us. It's really a great pleasure for us for being here. We have a challenge also. Our challenge was school fees payment, but with this program of CSEA they brought for us, these farmers you see here in CSEA, they also help us a lot, because in the first season they have already collected their shares, and they also get some money. For that, the school fees payment is now a bit fair. So I thank you a lot for that. I'm grateful and hopeful with this program also parenting. They are starting here. I know with this one, we are going to grow with them. That is my experience of being here. Before Iread came, we were using our own method, because we are using method of being teaching all the old method, but now Iread come, it taught us a lot. They organized for us this program like bridging course and the material development. We also went for these courses. After that, we also got a lot of knowledge from there. Starting with the children is not for us a difficult. It's now on our own progress. We are doing with them well.
I want to thank Iread for having building us a school here in my village. Before Iread came, we were having illiteracy. Illiteracy has taken over in our community here. We are having a primary school which is a bit far, something like 1.5 kilometers away from our home, but our children could not join schools timely. They could go and start school when they are 6 to 7 years, but now when Iread came in, our children are now starting their school direct from baby class, middle and top. After top, then they join primary school. When they reach in primary school, they go when they have known that they have come to learn. But during our days, we go minus knowing anything. We could start to learn other things when you have spent there something like 2 to 3 years. That's when you start to learn something. But when Iread came in now, my children are now doing well, and then I'm happy for them. I will always congratulate Iread for coming to improve our lives concerning with education. Because in Uganda, without education, you are nothing. But
Vice Chairperson for the Haji ECD Resource Center. Basically, this school actually started around 2015. Around 2000, it was on 21st August, that was when it was officially opened. And when it was opened, although the rate of the children were low, the enrollment was low, as soon as this thing was put on the stage now, the number increased at around 135 enrollment. Because of the stage of it has become very marvelous. Parents started to come and at least have the institution owned. They owned it perfectly, and because of its first coming to the rural area, you know, the rural setting has a problem with the issues to do with education. They feel that the children need to be actually rendered freely without any pay. That has been the challenge which actually came. We tried with the members above, and we came up with a very small amount so that we are able to pay our caregivers. Now, the challenge now becomes from there. Now, with the issue of the primary, the number could not rise. One, you know, at the baby class, the number is very big. Then middle is a bit okay. Now going to the top class. When a parent realizes that he has a problem with this small amount of payment, now the parent will begin to withdraw the child unknowingly to the next what? That is to the next primary. That is our biggest challenge. Not even finishing up the 3 states. It has become now a problem for that. And the next challenge is now, I still go to the parents. Meetings were going on, sensitizations were going on, still up to now. You can see a good number of children at home. Yet at home, feeling that this thing should be free, like UPE. You know, they know in P1 it is free. They just send their children there. So that has been the biggest challenge in terms of enrollment. But otherwise, others have already discovered the importance of the child who is here, who goes from this end to join primary. There is now a big difference, very big difference. The way they react, they socialize, very nice. And it has actually given this school, more especially the school here, the primary, to come up with a good foundation.
A child needs to go through such an institution. This is the foundation of education. From here, we're being told that children are getting a lot of skills, knowledge, values, which will help them in the future. You parents, you are clever people in one country. For bringing your children here, because what they are getting from here after 3 years, baby, middle, and top, will enable them now to go to primary, from primary to secondary.
So
the Ministry of Education and Sports, we are happy to have got friends, our partners, who are helping us to propagate the education of this country. We want to thank Iread. Because together, when we come together with the dreams, but like I said,
Yes, our father here is saying he's very happy about Iread for the project that has been brought for them here. They have built for them the school, which is very nice here. This is a school which they could not manage as parents of this area here. So the Ireadians have helped them, at least they have raised for them this. Now that their children who are very tiny, who cannot go to the primary side, are brought here and they are learning. And another good thing he has seen with these children here is the difference is when they go to primary, they are able to perform well because they already have a background, they have their level of proficiency has gone high. He's happy about that. In fact, he has a request that if their children from this Iread center here, this nursery center, will continue from this school up to level of P3, then they will go to other level now, other schools later, it will be okay. Otherwise, he's also very happy that through this project, the parents are also benefiting from this project of planting chia, which they eat, they sell to get money to also support these other children here. He's very happy about it. They had a fear that because they said these chairs should not be planted in areas where there was previously tobacco been planted. So that was a fear. Now many parents have realized this is it's just something which is only for 3 months that it's ready. So they are earning out of it. By next year, many parents are going to plant. So he's very happy about the project. He expects it to continue, and that's why he has ended. Thank you very much. Okay.
had.
Kinuklo alobu.
The chairs is very good. When he started growing for the first time, he cultivated a very small piece of land. He got the money, and that money he has used it for buying a goat. But then he had no child in this nursery. But he loves education very much. That's why he's a committee member here. And up to now, he's continuing with the growing of chairs. He wanted you people, before you leave, you can go and see his land where he planted the chairs. Just by the roadside near here, some few meters. He's appealing to the parents that they should join in growing the chairs, so that the money they can use it for supporting their children in nursery. He has talked to some few people, and they have started growing, though their names is not with you people. That is the little which you can say at this time. Government na iyo kolo denda lotina de mindi gongana gadi kuliati nyiro kine ti denda kine kulikipeleza tungazikata be ina beni be kai kla do anate.
My colleague has talked of the child's development. I will not repeat that, but the importance of being here is to ensure that that child is brought up early enough so that at the end of the day we have an all-round child of which we shall be proud.
Kwa de sasena isaka tazu kuleta ti lo nyiro lo kudua didinyo yani tazu we alangona yi ponda kulemilo ilongelaga kajiga talode ibonaga bota na lepena na kolele na bla ugo na mugu na kwa mugu tinade.
First level of education, nursery education, is the first level of education, and that's what we have here.
Nursery naga ina
primary.
Ipo na de chotu kilengera do yo. primary.
From primary, we shall go to secondary.
Primary to la para you ikidi the secondary.
I was asking, this secondary seems to be new. Why has it come here now? They are telling me because of this ECD center.
Nye pizza na secondary iso group ai pona na ludu na adria di ko pona di adi bila ponda ipana ga na sara ko amugona di primary dugana di okelo ngazetu da dugai nyana ga matana di ku senior ku godi ni di nye saka ko kide.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate your coming and I want to encourage you to support this ECD center. This is your own ECD center. It's not for me, it's not for the ministry, but it is yours. There, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Bring them here.
Sorry, sorry, sorry,